Welcome to the Great Reboot. I'm Tori Ryden. Since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, millions, it's very hard to put a number on this, of Americans have been laid off from their jobs, furloughed, or are experiencing a cutback in their hours, which means a smaller paycheck or no paycheck at all. It is a very difficult situation, dire even. Bottom line, companies must reboot to stay alive, and that includes companies that actually handle payroll and pay checks. Companies like MassPay Solutions, headquartered in Beverly, Massachusetts, with clients in 50 states. Our guest to the Great Reboot right now is Nick Mirabello. He's the Chief Inspiration Officer at MassPay. I want to welcome you, Nick. What a great job title. Can you explain what that means?
Sure. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me, Tori. Great to see you, and thank you. And yes, likewise, it's certainly trying times, and my heart goes out to those businesses, individuals, and people that are really feeling the impact during these days. And as you alluded to, my title with our team, we have a team of about 60 employees, and our job is to make sure that we are fully keeping companies compliant and helping them with the new laws and regulations and all the policies that are ever so changing today, but also make sure their folks are continue to get paid, continue to stay focused on their HR and on their employees that make the difference. So my role at the company is the Chief Inspiration Officer, as you said, and really my job is to celebrate, motivate, and inspire our team on a daily basis, and we certainly need that, as well as be an extension of our external HR services and to help our HR clients to keep their teams motivated and engaged, especially now as we're forced into this remote work world, but we're trying to keep everyone more engaged and connected than ever.
Especially now. I mean, boy, every day that ticks by, you're hearing about another company that just, hasn't figured out a way to keep going. I hate to say this, but the number of calls going into suicide hotlines is on the rise. And so I guess what I think is your job is more critical than ever. And so how are you managing people? And maybe you can share, what is the advice you're giving to people?
Absolutely. Well, I think our CEO and founder, Jason Maxwell, said it best yesterday. It was firstly internally a company letter and a message to all of us, and a motivational morning message to all of us, and then wanted to write a letter to our clients and the folks outside and let people know that we're here for them. And at the end of the day, as we approach here quarter two, he said it best that quarter two, the revenue growth and the bottom line is not as how we're going to be measured this year. What's going to be measured is, first of all, paying respect to the folks and the heroes that are on the front lines, from the medical workers, the staffers, the doctors, the nurses, everyone that's doing their part, and from the grocery store workers, everyone that's keeping the essential businesses going and growing to help the people in need. Those are the true heroes. Those are the ones that are on the front lines. And for us, it's just to keep hope for our clients and the businesses out there that we can help keep them compliant, we can help keep their employees employed. And he said what will really mark our success this year in 2020 is how many businesses we save and how many employees' jobs we can save. So that's really what it comes down to. And you mentioned earlier about the fact that it's unfortunate that it takes a global pandemic to really put on the forefront of the importance of mental health and everyone out there that just to stay mentally healthy, to stay mentally strong, and so hard during these days. But I think if we all can kind of really take care of each corner of our world, each corner of our life, personally and professionally, we can help make the world a better and healthier place in that way. But right now we all have to do our part by staying home, but also staying connected.
You kind of mentioned, I want to start with this, and I've got some more questions for you, but when you're dealing with your own employees, what's the messaging you're giving to them? I mean, I know that you need to keep them up and probably a lot of positive talk and all of that, but what kind of salient tips are you giving them that they can incorporate in their daily lives?
Sure. I'll take that as a two-part question. One, I'll just answer with from how we do that, like a mass message to the team as a whole, and then individual tips we can give to employees individually. So as a whole, it's first we really want to mention perspective. Learning what the perspective is right now. Of course, everyone's kind of fighting their own battle that we don't know about, but if you kind of just take a step back and look at the big picture, we're very fortunate to be still employed and to continue to help our clients and help our businesses and employees. That being said, if you put in perspective, you're home, you're in sweatpants working remotely, you're spending more time with your family. So in all that, those are good things. Those are good things to know that we're still employed and we can help other people to stay employed. Also is to take time to compartmentalize things, to kind of put when to focus on when it's family time, when it's work time. And I know those two are meshing together today, but just kind of help yourself compartmentalize those, and also really focus outward. How much energy can you give to your clients, your colleagues, your coworkers, and to your family, and know when the time is to do that right. And lastly, I think that the tip would just be to, you know, finding the silver linings, finding those good moments of opportunities. I'm always been a firm believer in my life that within every crisis there is an opportunity, and to find those opportunities, to find those bright spots and really capitalize on those. So those are the kind of the overarching theme that we're giving our team today, to really try to focus outward and help others, whether that be their loved ones, their friends, their colleagues, or their clients. And then individually, I think it's more time than ever, it's so important to have the morning and evening routines. Daily routines and habits are so important to keep the mind right and keep the mind strong. So if you can wake up a little bit early and find that morning light is helpful. Hydrate to feel great. I always told, when I used to be a college baseball player, I told the players to do that. But hydrate, find some quiet time if you can. And you may have a human alarm clocks. You may have little ones at home that are tough to have that quiet time for yourself, but try to find that moment for yourself, just to kind of be mindful, be restful for a second, and then kind of really reboot and recharge yourself for the day. And also probably give our time, as much as I respect the news, give yourself time to have a news cutoff time as well. You can't get drained on everything that's going on that's negative in the world. Try to find the positive news, because there's really still great news out there, and great heroes are making great things happen today. So try to find that, because that helps your mind stay healthy as well.
Which is really why we're doing this, Nick. So thank you for hitting on that point, the Great Reboot. Now, you know, we're taking a look at what can we do to help other people to either reboot individually or as companies and businesses. And I thought it was really interesting when you were just talking about your CEO, Jason Maxwell, and the letter. And I guess I'm wondering what is the process that your company is kind of going through and doing to help other companies save themselves? I guess I'm wondering what role are you all playing in that, and helping them to kind of stay alive and succeed?
Sure. As a payroll provider and HR consulting business, if you will, we're really focusing now. They have twofold. One is the software that we have. That software supports their payroll and supports their employees, and then also has an HR component to it. And then we have that in person or via video these days, HR consulting. We have an amazing group of HR generalists and senior HR advisors. So what we're really focusing on, and what Jason's message in MassPay's, kind of the MassPay way, is to really leverage tools, people, and knowledge. So the tools from all the different funds and acts that are going out, from the CARES Act to the Family First Coronavirus Act, all those different things, the MA Work Share Program, all these different items that are going out right now, how to unpack those and do a webinar on those for people. We're doing a webinar tomorrow, and it already has 1,300 people on there. So we're trying just to focus on some of these laws and rules and regulations to really help translate them for some people, and bring it to their level so they can implement for their team and their company. So leveraging the tools, the knowledge, our team we have a whole slew of experts that can really help you behind the screen and help it hit home and touch hearts. That helps businesses and employees. And then lastly is the people. We really believe that people make the difference, and we're blessed with about 1,300 clients across 50 different states. Now, the majority are right in New England for us, from anywhere from small, medium, large size businesses. And we just want to be a resource for them and really provide value and support that we can through this.
Well, that's outstanding. You mentioned the webinar, and I'm wondering if people miss that. Will you have it up on your website? And if so, can you give the information on where people can see it?
Sure, and I can gladly send links to that too, but it's masspaysolutions.com. That's masspaysolutions.com. And we have a nice banner part right there. It says HR News or Events. You click on the events or click on the HR News, and a brand new page will pop up, and it has all of our recordings of the webinars, all the up-to-date laws and regulations, state level and federal level, just to help people, just to provide that knowledge and have those items there. We have PDFs you can download, and all past and present webinars you can log in to watch the recordings of.
I love that. And I know that, things are changing right now on the Treasury, the Fed front, trying to figure out ways that they're going to be able to provide some assistance. Kind of a lot of pressure is being put on banks and small banks to help out. But I know that you also have a really good link, the economic injury disaster loans piece on your website too, which I'm sure is being
Yes.
updated all the time because,
Yes.
again, we're getting changes. We're all getting pings on this all day long. So I guess everything is very updated on the website.
Yes, 100%. We want to make sure that we're just a resource for people, a resource they can go to support, even if they're not a client of ours. That's on our World Wide Web. That's on our website. You can go to it. And just to be able to provide that value and support is important to us. And there's so many different things, in course, things changing these days, but we can just keep everyone up to date, keep everyone up to speed, and we'll be there to support them.
It's hard to stay positive. It's really hard for people to stay kind of focused. And when people keep saying the long term, well, short term, are they going to be able to buy groceries? Can they get gas for their car? I mean, forget about paying for rent. You know, people are actually being urged to use the money they're going to get from the federal government instead of paying off bills. Hold on to it so you can buy food and the real necessities. It's tough.
It's extremely tough. It was something I put on LinkedIn the other day, and I wanted to just share with anyone in my network. It's, at the end of the day, we can only control what we can control, and there's a few things that we can control, and one is our mind, our mindset, kind of the power that we have within our mind. Also, what we can give to one another, the energy, hope, optimism, support, gratitude. These are things that we can control, and I think we have to really stay in that mindset. It's really, it can be dangerous to kind of go through that spiral, go through that, get into the, downward spiral to those thoughts and thinking long term. If you can kind of at the moment right now think short term, and what can I do right now first and foremost for myself? What can I do for my family? And then what can I do for the company I'm with and who I'm employed by? So I think that's really just kind of putting perspective, taking one day at a time. And like I said before, not to sound like a broken record, but we have to find the silver linings. We have to find the opportunity within this crisis and how we can kind of come together, and hopefully unite more than ever and support more than ever, and find those moments of gratitude, because those are really powerful.
You've been pushing the silver lining for a long time, and as a matter of fact, it's what brought you to MassPay. I know that you created URock,
Yes.
and it's the letter U and then
Right.
rock, and that's how I first got to know you, was through URock. Why don't you share a little bit about that? Because I didn't even think that adults were doing vision boards, and I thought it was kind of just kids who were doing it, and then
Sure.
you do this with many people, right?
Yes, that's in fact how I actually met Massbay and how I'm with them today. It was about a decade ago, 2010, that I started and founded URock, and it was in a small mini city I call Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that has a great entrepreneurial spirit. But one of my life goals is always to help people to pursue their passions, to dream big, to achieve what they want to achieve, but also giving them permission to dream big, and to put their vision down on paper. Because if you do that, it becomes a reality. And if I guess I had a magic wand, one of my superpowers would be, I would love to boost people's self-confidence, just to let everyone know that, to believe themselves, that they can do it, they can achieve if they believe, and it's really important. So it was actually back in 1999 by the name of Ed Garrity. He's a rock star, superstar, motivational speaker. And he was on stage speaking to us about the power of positive attitude, the power of visualizing our goals. And then he challenged all of us to go create our very first dream board or vision board. So I did, and all the things started coming true. And throughout my career, I started doing it. And I had a wonderful career up and down the East Coast. And now I'm back home in Southern Maine. But I started realizing that things were happening, things were coming true, and I was visualizing and manifesting these items. So I said, I might have something here. What if I could build a business on this that boosts people's self-confidence, puts their dreams on paper, and create a workshop around it? So it was a great way to get together, and we started doing that, and then it started to snowball. It was probably about 3 years, so it started to really take off. Those first 3 years were trying, but it was also making a great positive impact on people's lives. So I was like, okay, this is really good. Maybe I can find now a small business or a privately owned business that would take this, and I can get into the corporate world with it, and kind of, let's see if these men and women can roll up their business sleeves and play with glue sticks for a few hours.
And
It's really
apparently it
interesting.
worked.
Yeah, it
So
did. It was great.
This is something people could be doing at home right now. I mean, people are looking for different
Hmm.
projects, and they're also looking for ways to boost themselves. Maybe they could put some great music on as they're doing
Yes.
this. Take us there. What do people need? And then do you have a website, or do you have a place where people can kind of look at, all right, I might have glue sticks. I might have some fabric. I've got, magazines, etc. What would
Yeah.
people need for this?
Oh, you're great, Troy. That's a great idea because I was thinking that it's so important because obviously in the more than ever in this tech-driven world now, right? But the great thing about a vision board party or a vision board workshop is that you don't need any technology at all, other than the music playing, of course. Get in the right mood, have that energy
Yeah.
going. But it's a great family activity to do at home. If you're getting tired of the board games or binge watching Netflix, then get the family together, shut off the technology, and just get a stack of magazines. It could be any type of magazines, and then a board. Get a foam board be great, or construction paper, whatever you have. But I try to get the core foam boards are great. But and then scissors and glue sticks. And what will happen is it takes about, I'd say, a good 2 to 3 hours to fully create your own masterpiece of a vision board. But as individuals, it could be kids, and I should say people of all stages and all ages of life can do this. You start to flip through these magazines, Tori. You start to flip through these magazines, you start to see images and pictures and words that just jump off the page that you didn't even know were there, that move you, that inspire you. Tear it out, cut it out, and then you start to have a pile of cutouts near your board. And then you bust out the glue sticks and you start to put everything, and you build this collage. And you end up having this masterpiece of things that you want to create, obtain, attract, and manifest in your life. It could be more peace, more time with family, more love. It could be more earnings or a new job, a new car, whatever it may be. But obviously, there's a lot of time to think these days of what we do want in our life, personally and professionally. So it's been a great time to see that, to see people dream big. And I've had the blessing to work with, I don't know, probably over now, it's been over 75 different companies, all different sizes, probably 9 different states. And that's when I met Massbay in 2014, when they did their first vision board workshop. And it was fantastic. And then that kind of snowballed and brought me into different companies. And then now when I got my CIO role, the Chief Inspiration Officer role at MP, I start to work with our HR clients and work with our internal team on doing their own vision boards and their own workshops. I have an executive size vision board, just an 8x10 people can keep at their desk, but it's part of their onboarding process. Every time there's a new employee within the first 3 weeks, you sit down with Nick and do a 90-minute vision board goal setting workshop.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Where can people see kind of this in action so they know kind of what quadrant to put what in and all of that?
Sure, great question. I do have a website that's still alive. It's urockmarketing.com. That's the letter U, urockmarketing.com. And we have some cool Happy Dreamers section that kind of shows different testimonials of people's dreams coming true, and people that have a picture with their board and started their business off the vision board or wherever that may be. But like I said, it's been a blessing to be able to do that and to reach our different clients and companies and work with different individuals. It's a great family exercise. My niece, who's now a freshman in college, she's amazing, an honors student, but she did her first vision board age 9, and then she did her second vision board going into high school, Tori, and that was really cool to see that. And then she put all these different things on. I'll just give a 30-second story real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So my niece Destiny, she put all these different brands that she liked, different music that she liked, activities, workout, food. In the middle, she put a picture of Italy and Greece and France. And then she had in the corner a bunch of letters, and the letters were A's and B's. And so as she went through her high school career, she was looking at her vision board. It's a great thing to wake up to in the morning, gets the mind right. And during her junior and senior year, she got to go on a trip. Only 20 students were able to go. She got to go to Greece, Italy, and France. And then those letters in the upper left-hand corner, all A's and B's. She got all A's and B's, and now she's an honor student at UMass Lowell. I'm just so proud of her. So just a little thing that doesn't matter what age or stage you're at, you can dream big, and it's a wonderful thing.
Nick Mirabello, Chief Inspiration Officer at MassPay. I love all of these pointers. Leave us, if you would. I want to thank you for being with us. Leave us with just 3 quick tips, top of head, that people can do today to help themselves feel better as we go out. And again, thanks so much for being part of this, of the
Okay.
Great Reboot.
Oh, thank you so much, Tor. I appreciate it. And it's a reboot. It's a reboot for businesses, but also a reboot for our own minds. And as individuals, I think as we're home more time than not nowadays and more time with our families, is to give yourself a moment of thought. If it's not right in the morning, whatever it may be, but give yourself a moment, even if it's just a couple minutes, just of solitude to really think and make those thoughts positive. Positive thoughts will equal positive results. So moments of gratitude. We have to wash our hands for what, 20 seconds? So instead of singing or humming happy birthday, why don't you think of 3 things that you're grateful for? So attitude of gratitude is number 1, huge. Number 2 would be really when you start to focus outward and give energy, give positive energy, optimistic hope energy to your loved ones and to your clients or coworkers, whoever you may be working with. Try to stay connected in this tech world that we're in, this remote world. Do these video chats, video calls. It's so important. Do a virtual coffee date with someone and really keep connected. And then last but not least, I think is most important, our children. You know, our youth is going through this too, and there's some uncertainty to them and how safe do they feel? How protected they feel? I think it's just to continue to talk and communicate with our children, no matter what age they are at. Ask them questions. What do they know? Because at the end of the day, we must inspire our youth because they are our future. And I know, and I have my heart of hearts, that the future is bright for all of us. We can all get through this together. We can unite and make good things happen.
All the best to you, Nick.
Thanks, Tori. You too. Thanks so much for having me. I pleasure. Take care.